Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toonkind D&D at 12 FPS. I stumbled on the FPS word. It is FPS. This is
You're good,
specifically
you're good.
this is specifically Cuddle Conversations Part One. There will be a Part Two on a different day, both in game and in reality. um, yes, hello. I am Arrows. I will be playing Nebula Rose. And I have a very wonderful friend with me that I love a lot.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I'm Authenticity. I play the TikTok chicken. Gosh, that like this threw me for okay.
Listen. Listen. Anyway. Let's. Okay, I gotta do some rolls. Let's start off with some rolls. Okay, that's a better one for Nebula, but still requires the d20. Okay, he's good. Would you roll me a perception check?
Absolutely, I'll roll you a perception check.
Okay, yeah.
That's a 15.
I probably should
For
have.
glasses.
Yeah, yeah. They've got glasses now. So, uh, at the moment, TOC has been staying over at Unwilted Wonders, spending the night. Do you? I started on this before the roll. Do you like what? What's the reason behind TOC staying overnight?
I mean, I think that um Trinity Trinity is back in town. Juniper is not. Um or actually that wouldn't quite work because they have their glasses now. And their glasses, I imagine, enter the graveyard happened well after the events of Icebreakers Anonymous.
Yeah, and I'm imagining this happening way after Play Ball, which is after Juniper got back.
Mm. Man, I don't know if UFC heard about that, by the way. Um,
I mean, he said that he was going to he was taking part in a ball game before it happened. I don't
yeah,
know if TOC was there to watch, but
I mean, I am. I'll have to talk to Babel about that because I like the idea of them being there to watch, but also I
uh
like the idea of them being like, okay, here's this is my good friend Nebula, and here's my good friend Juniper. It's good to finally get to introduce you to, and both of them just be like, well,
to be fair, like they did meet each other, and they Juniper did it. What? Yeah, the topic of TOC came up, and
oh
so
dang,
yeah, so Nebula Nebula made Juniper blush by talking about how much TOC talked about her during their conversation in Oktoberfest. Um, so
excellent.
so he's well aware that she's their roommate. So I think Nebula probably, I don't know if Juniper would have mentioned meeting Nebula, but Nebula would have mentioned like, "Hey, I met your roommate,"
All right,
and then they went for
all
tea
right, they're pretty
afterwards,
good.
or maybe not tea, but cafe, something like that. So
Perfect.
yeah.
All right, well, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. Well, I guess if it is in November, then I think like they're probably just staying over to stay over.
Mm.
Like it seems like every time they see Nebula, like it's because they need something, or something's gone wrong, or like they just want to have a goddamn good day with like this skeleton who they're attached to.
I still don't. I don't think he's told them about his mental adoption of Marigolton and Victrola. He knows the look that he's going to get if he mentions that.
I mean, I don't know that they told him about their literal adoption of Marigold.
I don't know. I don't know. But
No,
but
this is. I feel like we're talking about things that they should talk about.
yeah, yeah. Um okay, yeah. So Tuesday's hanging out just to hang out. Uh and with a 15, this is the middle of the night. I don't know if they are also up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, or if this woke them up. But it is the middle of the night, and they see Nebula coming out of his room with some quite dimmed eyelights. Wait, I should do a perception check. Hold on, to see if he notices them. That's a 10. I want to say like he maybe like he sees but doesn't process kind of thing. Um, and
Yeah, like they are a black chicken. Like
yeah,
they blend in pretty well.
and it's dark. Yeah, so I don't think that'll work for him. So he just completely bypasses, like doesn't mention them. He doesn't see them, and he goes to, I think, I don't remember. I might have placed this in the kitchen. It's either in the kitchen or the living room. I don't remember, but there is one of those trapdoor things where there's a string hanging from the ceiling, and you pull on it, and the ladder comes down.
Mhm.
There's one of those things, and he does that, and he starts climbing up.
I think TOC was like they at this point they just don't sleep well when they're not next to Juniper. Like it used to
Aww.
be that they didn't sleep well if they had to sleep alone because they were used to growing up sleeping next to their sisters.
Mm.
But now like I think that they started out like perched on Hickory's headboard. And they're just like, I'm not going to get any sleep like this. I'm going to go get a drink of water.
TOC. So uh, yeah, they're just, do they do anything with, Nebula? With seeing Nebula go up? Or, okay, I think you might have gone quiet. I see no green flashing. Can't believe Discord killed Author. No! Author! No! Okay. Alright. Author's. Oh. Discord, please. Man. Alright. Hello, everybody. Technical difficulties here. Gosh. I can't improv on the spot. I can't do add stuff. Pretend add stuff. Alas. Well, Nebula ramble about. See, Nebula knows about space time. I do not. I can't do that. Internet problems. I see.
Full.
You are here.
Hey!
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
My internet fucking died.
oh no. Okay, so
Like, just
last
straight up.
oh gosh. Well, you're back now. That's good. How long was
Man,
that? How long was that, man?
I have no clue.
At least 2 minutes. Maybe a little more.
At least. Jeepers Creepers, I apologize.
No, it's alright. Yeah, okay, I think what I last heard was they were going to the kitchen to get a drink of water. And then you just
Okay.
went silent.
Yeah, it's TOC is going to the kitchen for a drink of water because they haven't been sleeping well, because they haven't been sleeping as a juniper, which makes them sad.
Aww.
So I think that they're just like, they're getting a drink of water, and in shuffles Nebula, apparently dead to the world. Like, they go to sign at him, but he's not looking at them, so they're just like, oh, okay. And then they watch as he pulls a section of the ceiling down and climbs up a ladder, and they're just like, well, okay. Weird flex, but sure.
TC has not seen attic ladders before.
I mean, they've seen like barn loft ladders, which aren't that different. Like, it's not necessarily the architectural surprise that's getting to them so much as like, oh, their friend just like dragged himself in and hoisted himself skywards.
Yeah. Do they plan on following it all?
I think that they just actually just stand there like for a sec. Like, they look down at their water, they look up at the ceiling. Yeah, they should probably address this. And then they just shoot them up. They just shoot it like it's whiskey and like put the glass in the sink and hop up the stairs.
Oh. I wanna do another perception check to see if he notices sound of bird claws against ladder. He does not. He is out of it. Yeah, and as you follow him up, you find that there is no attic, actually. It's just, it goes straight to the roof. And there's a trapdoor at the ceiling that he pushes open and just climbs out and lies down right, like, almost immediately next to it. Not enough to accidentally, or to risk accidentally falling back down, but close by.
I mean, I think we just go over and settle next to him.
Oh man, he doesn't, technically I shouldn't make him make a perception check, but also, how long until he notices?
I mean, let me post 2 scenarios to you.
Okay.
Scenario 1, we have a very funny sequence where they sit there for a long time and then he gets spooked out of his gourd. Scenario 2, though, we have a shot of Nebula looking up at the sky, and we have a shot of the stars, beautiful and ephemeral, and then a chicken head just like pops into the corner of the screen.
Man,
I actually kind of like scenario 1, but also
I do too. I really like scenario 1. Man. How about okay, I'll still roll to see how long it takes him to notice, I think. I feel like either way we should have that shot of the stars, and like, I mean, hey, maybe they poke their head and that startles him. Or he's just like, he shifts and there's a thing there. that he was not expecting. That's a 13. That's better. I actually don't know what to do with that.
I mean, I think we can say that, like, with that, it's not a creepy amount of time that they're just sitting there right next to you. Like, it's some time, but not too much.
Few seconds.
The perfect amount.
Perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shot of the stars, and then it goes back to Nebula and TOC just kind of laying there, and he looks over and he sees a chicken, and just like there is a very startled noise, and like he flails back a bit. He was not expecting this.
Yes, the very beautiful stars, the gorgeous heavens, and the decidedly less beautiful chicken.
Do not insult the chicken. Hold on, oh gosh. Hold on, one moment. Oh boy. Okay, so that was a dex saving throw. It's fine. He has Misty Step. It's okay if he starts falling off the roof. He'll Misty Step back on.
Does that happen?
I think it, like, maybe he doesn't, like, completely fall off, but he starts to, because he's startled badly, and, like, he flinched away, and he slipped.
Can TOC, like, reach out and yank him back on?
Definitely, yes. Please.
Alright, they do. Should I roll for it?
Yeah, I think roll for it.
Okay, could that be said to be athletics?
Yeah, yes, because TOC is barbarian, correct? Advantage on strength stuff? Yeah. I will give you the advantage. Oh, that's a dirty 20. Yeah, yep. They easily...
You get hoisted back up by your collar, and there's a second where they just sit there together, and then TOC cuffs him over the back of the head just lightly with a wing, like, don't do that, you dumb shit.
You startled me. It's not my fault.
They look extremely unimpressed.
He huffs, and he lays back down. He's, like, vaguely annoyed, but also, like, not too much, really. It's just recovery from almost falling.
They give him a very severe look over the top of their glasses.
Gosh.
Like, you know the one, the disapproving librarian.
He doesn't have glasses, but he attempts to give the same look back.
Try again in 40 years, friend. This is grandparent chicken.
Gosh. Man,
yeah, I think they just, like...
Yeah, you go first.
No, good.
Okay, I was just gonna say this is falling scare on top of having to recover from nightmare. But hey, it distracted him from the nightmare. That's for sure.
Let it never be said that this chicken was anything other than distracted. I think they, like, eventually they just sort of settle, like, next to him and just sort of, like, fluff themselves up. And, like, you know, this is, despite the name, this is a very zen chicken sometimes. They are... They are very patient, they are very wise, and they're very okay with just sitting with you and letting you work out whatever feelings you've got.
Can I ask if they're... He's laying down again. Can I ask if they're sitting next to him or sitting on him?
I kind of like them sitting on him now.
Yes.
Like once he settles, they sort of like they hop up and turn in a circle and just poof.
Listen,
Just
I like the idea so much that I put it in the title card. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that happens, and he there's there's a little bit of a smile there, and he reaches to put a hand on their back and just kind of like gently petting them.
Mm.
Hold the chicken.
The chicken is very warm and very fluffy. They're just a little weight on your stomach. Like they allow the pets.
Excellent. This is extremely good.
Mm. They're spending a lot of time being a support animal.
They're very good at it.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's almost as if all the people that they care about really need it, so they get lots of practice.
Oh no. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Mm.
Gosh, Nebula probably brought up the he wasn't expecting TOC to be there. He probably brought the abyss fish with him.
Mm.
So he's got both that and TOC. He's got
Nice.
TOC on his chest, abyss fish behind his head, staring up at the stars. I have no idea how conversation would start.
I think TOC. Let's see. I think it's a very long time until they ask much of anything. But I think eventually they sign. I'm asking a question I already know the answer to. But are you okay?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna try and hide it. I think he's just gonna look at them tired. And he'll say, "Well, you did say you'd already know the answer."
Mm. They sort of shuffle their wings. They sign. Tell me about it.
Oh boy. He kind of blows out a breath, like in thought. Like, how much does he want to say? Where does he want to start? What, like, there's a lot. Man. I think he's silent. Yeah, he is silent for a while thinking about this. And I have to think about it too. So.
They give you, and also I give you, plenty of time to
Okay.
sort of get thoughts in order.
Excuse me as I pull up Nebula's document about his stuff.
Oh boy.
I think he starts off with saying, just tired from a lot of things.
They just look at him, and they seem to understand. They have been the cause of some of those things, because they were the ones who brought the troll to you. They were the ones who had nowhere else to turn but him on that.
He doesn't mind that at all. Yeah.
But it is one more thing on his plate.
I suppose. Yeah, I think they're quiet a bit again. And I think he continues. It was good for a while.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, it was good for a while. I was able to have. Well, I told you before, I was having good sleep, but I suppose it always ends eventually. Back to this song and dance again.
Everything does. But it will come in time. That's how the world works. Things go, but then again they come.
I just want this part to stay gone. Or at least not be as bad.
They stretch out their little neck over his over the front of his pajamas and just sort of rest their little chicken chin on his stomach. And you can see in the darkness the glint of an eye watching you.
Aww. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I know we've talked about it, but I don't remember if anyone in game has actually yelled at him to go to therapy. I don't remember.
I also don't remember. Fuck.
Would TOC have said it at some point?
I mean, Naps the Snooze yelled at him to go to a sleep doctor.
Naps just did do that, yeah. So that was close. I might be thinking of that. I haven't decided if he's done that or not. He definitely intended to. I don't remember if he actually has or not.
He's a busy dude.
He is a busy dude. He's a very busy dude. He needs to not be as busy, but yeah. He is quiet again, looking up at the stars. And petting them more. They're a good friend. He's glad that they're there. They are extremely good and helpful.
They don't feel very helpful right now, but this is something they can do at the very least.
I think he has a thought, and he looks down at them, and there is a bit of concern, and he asks, Did I wake you?
They shake their head.
He is relieved.
I never sleep well alone. Or and they consider, because they were actually sleeping next to Hickory. Perhaps I should say I never sleep well without my roommate. It is what it is.
And you still decide to stay overnight?
They nod. But they're already here. They're not going to like break into their own home at like 2 a.m. Like with the sort of security measures that Juniper has, forget about it.
Yeah, he'll say, well, I'm glad you're here, I suppose.
It is good to be here.
Even having to deal with this?
Things have been so... they look at you.
He looks away.
They like poke him with their beak just to like look back over here so I can sign at you. And they sign. Caring for my family has not always been a luxury I have been able to afford.
Man.
Don't begrudge me that.
I'm sorry. This is not like a it's not necessarily I'm sorry you had to deal with that, more of a like I guess apologizing for his reaction before, like, cuz like I don't know how to if I'm explaining it well, probably not.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
he's apologizing for something that he, rather than for like a regretful like, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like, I think they like peck at him lightly, just like, no, don't do that either.
Yeah, I think he makes like a I don't know if fluster is the right word, might be a flustered kind of noise, but doesn't like say anything about it, just like a huff kind of thing.
Yeah, they get like, he makes the sibling like, stop it.
Yeah.
They sign. Things have been a lot lately. Things have been so much. I am grateful for the opportunity to simply be here with you. Did I tell you, by the way, it is your found family paperwork came in handy lately.
He makes a curious noise at that, and like maybe a bit of a tilted head.
And they just nod and they say, I adopted Marigold. I have a child now.
Oh. He is it's not like unexpected. That's the word I'm looking for. He did not realize that, like, well, okay. They did call Marigold Flock in I know the name of this FPS. What was it? Osteopathy. What, right?
Yeah, osteopathy.
Yes, osteopathy. So okay, so maybe it's not that much of a surprise, but like it was still on. He wasn't expecting this to hear this now, kind of thing. He knew that they considered her flock, but didn't know that they were going to go through with it legally. I mean, it took him and Hickory years before they decided to make this legal. But he's
Chicken
also
said R.I.P. Chicken said R.I.P. to you, but I'm different.
Yeah. He's only known TOC for so long, and he's recently learned that they consider him family. So he's learned that they consider people family really easily and strongly.
Mm.
He has learned that, but so it's a bit of an unexpected oh, and then like a smile. Yeah, I think he'll ask, when did that happen?
Oh, not too long ago. A little bit before All Hallows. After after I was hurt, I, without going too much into it, I made it out of there because of my family, because I was not alone. And I did not want her to have to be alone. Ever. She travels so much. I know she has her roommates. I'm not worried. But I want to be able to be there for her, however I can be. And if paper or words are what the world needs to acknowledge that properly and give us our dues as the family of one another, then that is not such a terrible price to pay, is it?
He smiles and says, "No, it's not. I'm glad, and I definitely understand."
Mm. I think they just sort of look at you calmly.
Is there like a meaning behind that?
I mean, it's just sort of like a steady, gentle, like. They're just sort of waiting for Nebula to start talking.
Okay.
I think that they can maybe glean, maybe from their own experience, maybe from, knowing Nebula, that like something needs to be talked about here. They're not quite sure what. They're not quite sure, how to broach the topic even. But
I think this is helped by, because they mentioned they called back to them getting injured, which brings them back to the conversation that they had. So he's at least thinking about it now. I don't know if he'll say anything now or if it'll be a few words later. I got out of the headspace and I don't know why. One moment while I get back into the headspace.
No worries.
All right, so they yeah, they mentioned Marigold, and they're looking at him, waiting for him to speak. How have you been since all of that, anyway?
They we sort of shuffle the wing that was injured. That actually, since you're petting them, you probably feel there's a very nasty scar underneath their feathers. Like it feels very much like it's a miracle that like what's on the other side of it is still attached. Um, and they sign. I and they do this pause in universe, I should say.
All right.
I feel very old. I have not lived for as long as many. Chickens don't. But I feel so old, Nebula.
He is going to shift to put his other arm around them, and like, rather than petting them, it is a hug now. You're being hugged.
They accept this. It's good. I think they like they preen one of his arms, and they sign. I'll be okay. It's truly. I am worried about Victrola. I'm worried about Trainee. I'm worried about Seeker. I'm worried about so many people. And I have outlived all of my sisters. All of the ones that were older than me, I should say. I still have Victrola. I don't know. I've just been thinking about it lately. What it would have been like if they were here instead of me. Or if I had died with them. I'll be okay. But I feel very old.
I'm considering whether he'd say something or not. Because, like, no, he would have, but then they continued the conversation, so I don't know if he'd, like, go back to it or not. Might as well. Those can be...
Yeah, go for it.
Those can be some dangerous thoughts.
I think they look down at him. Just it's sort of waiting for clarification.
Well, I suppose it depends on what angle you're coming at them from. Just... I suppose thinking about it isn't as bad as wishing for it.
I think they very rarely sign. Are you asking if I'm suicidal?
No, it just... No. He, like... he kind of makes, like, an kind of noise, like... not quite, but also like there is like a little bit of concern of what.
Mm. I think they reach out and like preen his arm again. It's like, no, it's, I would not give up my family so easily. I would not give up this chance that I have, this chance that no one in their right mind would ever expect to be given.
That's good to hear.
I only hope I am worthy of it.
Can you repeat that? I did not hear
Oh,
all of it.
well, they sort of, they signed it sort of, uh, almost. Actually, you might have to roll a perception check to see what they signed, because it was sort of more to themselves
All right,
than
13.
13 probably does it. They signed this sort of as an afterthought. I only hope I can be worthy of it.
Yeah. Now TOC is getting the look. They are getting the look, and they are getting like a poke. Like now you stop that kind of thing. Like
They look down at the finger. They look up at him. You might notice they have a very sharp beak.
he didn't keep pressing his finger. It was just a short poke kind of thing. But
Mm.
of course you're worthy of it.
Mm. They sort of shuffle their feathers. They don't look like they disbelieve him, but there's definitely more to this story than they have shared with you. But they'll let it go for now. I think after a while they sign. How have you been? I know that tonight is rough, and the nights have been rough. But how have you been, Nebula? What's on your mind?
Oh, he sighs and he's like, a lot. I've been busy. There's a lot. There's even aside from just work in general. There's been a lot of things that have drawn my interest, I suppose, and I don't have the time to look into everything all at once, and it's I've been busy.
Hmm. I think they sign. Would you tell me about a few of them? Sometimes it seems that you are always looking for information on something.
Uh, he honestly he kind of smiles a bit. Because these are things that have interested him. Um, and he says, "Well, you already know a couple of them. The I mentioned the helping out a friend, doing research for. Gosh, I don't remember if he like how much he straight up said in Oktoberfest about what he's researching with grills. Because I know he was vague about specifics, but I don't remember how much he actually said.
Mm,
Gosh.
we can gently skip over that bit.
Wait,
Or you can
wait. I
maybe
have
he wants to
notes.
reiterate.
I have notes, but I
You have
also think
notes?
I think the notes might have just been about what TOC told him versus. Hold on. Yeah, that's just what TOC told him. Heck. All right. Yeah, we can just he be very vague and say he mentioned stuff about that. And I guess it's like tells them a bit of what he has found out. Just like stories that he's heard, things like that. And then he perks up, but like it's like excitement and frustration all together, combined. And he's like, I met this one person who I don't know. I don't know. They not they. He looks like a Toon, but he's not. He's a robot from I don't know if it was Faruma or a different continent, but he grew up surrounded by real kind. He doesn't know. I don't know. He looks Toonkind, but he's real kind. I don't know how that works. I have not been able to figure it out. I am fascinated. He kind of just like he keeps saying stuff like that, like he wants to figure this out and he does not know how. He's not found any leads whatsoever, but it's something that he's excited about and he wants to figure out, but he cannot. He is trying.
Yeah. I think that they just quietly listen. And they might notice that he's not talking much about, because I think they know by this point that he does have a research project that's ongoing that's just about him and his background.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. But he's not saying anything about that one. He's saying all the other stuff that he's looking into for either for other people or because he's just fascinated.
I think they'll let him, for lack of a kinder term, just run his mouth for a while and get tired. Like, this is a tiny little warrior bird. They, like, I think that, like, as they get tired and as, like, they feel that, like, he's evading something, they don't quite know what, but something. They're like, okay, it's time to do battle tactics. Soften them up first.
Yeah, I think like you were saying that they were letting him kind of tire himself out, basically. Just Nebula can go on for ages, but I'm gonna say he's tired already. He just had nightmare. He did not have good sleep, so he calms down a lot faster than he normally would have. And after some time is just like silent, watching the stars again.
I think after a while, after he's been silent for a good long while, and he's maybe ready to do some more talking, and they'll sign. What about your project? It seems you have talked about everything under the sun except that.
He blinks and he kind of looks away a bit.
I think that they also sign. Forgive me, my friend. You seldom talk about this at all, but That has been your one constant, has it not, along with the nightmares? Have you ever thought that perhaps they're connected?
He is silent for a bit. And like after a few seconds, he goes, I know they're connected.
They just wait. They look at you and they wait, Nebula.
He sighs because he's like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to talk about this, huh? Uh, yeah, I think this is a good. Yeah, he's not. Hmm, he's not looking at them as he says this. He is like he is aware of them in his peripheral vision in case like they start signing and he can look back at them, but he's looking up at the stars. And he kind of just goes like, there are a couple ways that were similar, I suppose.
He's fine.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to say, like, it is intentional that he is only speaking short bits at a time and waiting for them to respond because he doesn't talk about this much. He doesn't always want to talk about this much, and it's like he's only saying little bits at a time. He will go through it, but like he's only saying little bits at a time.
TOC sort of they look unsurprised. Like they don't look like they were expecting this exactly, but like this has been, no curveballs have been thrown here.
Yeah.
And I think that they sign, I only rarely dream of my own death. What do you dream about, Nebula? Man. Like this sort of like, there it's in the open. One of us said the D word.
Man. Yeah, and it's right out there where he was kind of going with it. Yeah.
I will say, by the way, that they are like, TOC is like using the most destigmatizing language possible. Like they said suicide earlier. They said death. Like they're not pussyfooting around any of this stuff because it's part of life. Death is part of life.
Yeah.
And I think they're sort of starting to get maybe that Nebula isn't comfortable with this. And, you know, it needs to be normalized one way or the other.
Yeah, I think he wasn't expecting them to actually say that, so he looks at them with like a bit of surprise.
They look back like, yeah.
They asked a question, right?
Yeah, not necessarily to have that question answered,
Yeah.
but like,
because I don't think he was gonna answer it. But like that was, because it was it what do you dream about, or was it something else?
yeah, it was. They said that they only they seldom when they have nightmares about their own death.
Mm-hmm.
What does he dream about?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. He does not answer that, but he looks away again and just like, suppose you already knew then?
I didn't know, but like may recognize like.
Hmm. He is again quiet for a bit. This is a common thing for him talking about this. Um, and just to, I mean, he's still not straight up saying it, but he is, I guess, implying it more strongly than they did. I don't know. But like by way of explanation, I guess. He just says Hickory's a necromancer.
Mm, big big sign. I knew there was a reason why his dahlia stayed so good for so long.
What was the why his what? I missed that word. I missed the important word.
They're dahlias. It's a type of flower.
Oh.
Like they're being a they're like they're goofing.
Yeah, he laughs at that. Yeah, he laughs at that. Um uh and he kind of in response says, I don't know, you might have to thank the rat god for that one.
Mm.
Yeah, I have talked with Tala about how he knows about the rat god with his 18, um and we have determined that like he knew from Hickory. Hickory knew from someone else because the rat god is not well known in Inkwell. But like they they they're not ones to kill the pests on like their flowers and such. They'll do more of like natural defenses, and they'll any bugs and such that get inside, they'll move outside and such like that. And sometimes the rat god will do like small favors and like in terms of their plants are doing well kind of thing. So
Hmm.
so he says that it might have to thank her for that rather than the necromancy. But I think I think he also says with a bit of a laugh, ever noticed the name of the shop?
Mm. They certainly have many times, probably. They're just. I mean, like it's. it's like, I don't think they'll say this, but like, Hickory is not the first necromancer that they've met. And like, the first one was someone who was dear to them beyond words. So like, if he's looking for like a shock reaction, like if anything, they probably look a little bit nostalgic.
No, he's not looking for a shock reaction. He's more mentioning them as a necromancer in the first place was just like being like, yeah, they were the one who brought me back. And then mentioning the name of the shop was like it was basically just like, look, the pun was there the entire time. Because unwilted wonders. Yeah. Sorry, comment in the audience is yelling. Thank Ike for that pun. Ike was the one who came up with unwilted wonders. Anyway.
Fucking great.
Yeah, he's waiting for a response from them, I think.
Man. I think they sign. Hang on, my cat is doing their level best to get at my candle.
Oh no. Play with fire.
No. Do not. The baby cannot have fire. But I think they sign. He's certainly not the first that I have met. Even the first that I have grown close to. He did remarkable work. I have certainly never seen I have never seen one such as yourself as complete and autonomous. Well, not raised by a necromancer, at least.
He pauses to consider that. And then goes, I'm a bit of an odd case, I suppose. The spell that Hickory used to resurrect me was, well, it was resurrection, which is not supposed to necessarily create undead. It's supposed to return someone to how they were before. So rather than being undead specifically, they're what they always were. That was supposed to happen to me, but something either they got distracted during the spell or something. It didn't quite work all the way. So, but it worked enough for me to be alive again, I suppose. But and he lifts one of his hands from TOC to look at the hole in it, and goes, if it had worked, if I had already been a skeleton toon, I would not still have these. These would have been healed over. And I assume I would have my memory of my previous life. But I don't.
Mm.
And these aren't healed. I'm just. I don't know.
Roll an insight check on TOC.
That's a 14?
Oh, actually, roll with advantage. You know this chicken by now.
Alright. 15.
It works. I mean, when you say that you don't have your memories of your previous life, for a second, they look like up to now they have been just quiet and studied and focused and patient. But that jars them. They look, something about that thought in particular is legitimately horrifying to them.
Hmm.
And they I think it takes a minute for them to zoom back in on what you're actually saying. But they sign, you truly remember nothing.
The. The closest that I can get is. I suppose my nightmares. And that doesn't even touch the life itself. It's just the experience the experience of the death, of the decay. And he kind of like winces at that, shudders. Um, but nothing of the actual life.
They look very distant as they reply. The eternity of it. The way that the world continues on. But you are here. And here you will stay. And you are stuck. And they sort of, they have to shake themselves out of that
Man.
mood.
Man. Man. Just sitting here.
Yep.
He pulls them closer. He doesn't say anything, but he pulls them closer.
Yeah, they scrunch in. Just, yeah. They can use the reminder that they're here.
They are most certainly here. Man.
I think that they sign. Do you ever mourn who you used to be?
What? I don't. What is there for me to mourn? I don't know. I mourn not being able to remember. I want to know. I want to know. But I don't, and I can't do anything about it. I have clues. I have. He looks at his hand again. I have a general sense how I died. There were things scattered around me. Well, a friend, Queen, I don't know, someone who had found me before Hickory had collected them by the time I had woken up, I suppose, if you can call it that. And kind of just put them in a pile nearby. I had a cairn made for me. That's nice, I suppose. But gosh, I got distracted now. Where was I going? Oh, that's where I was going. Okay. No, I remember now. But I can glean some things from what was presumably in my hammer space before I died. But there's only so much.
I think they sign, be wary, my friend, of assigning too much weight to the past. It is now that you are alive. It is now that you can change things. I'm not saying stop looking. I'm not saying you won't find anything, because I know you. And I know how powerfully your curiosity can shape the world.
Sorry, he kind of at that statement he kind of like laughs a little bit. He wasn't expecting like something like that. It kind of means a lot. And there's a little bit of doubt in there too, but also it does mean a lot. But it's just a laugh, small quiet laugh.
They sign, but whoever this person was that you were trying to find, whoever's memories you uncover, they are less important than you. They are less important than you, a second chance. I remember, Nebula. There are things that I will never forget. And I think they take a sec after that. But they rally eventually and they sign. But in so many ways, that powerless little bird is dead, and I am here instead of them. I have the capacity for so much more than I did. You are something precious. You are a second chance. Don't you dare take that for granted. Don't you dare forget what a powerful thing that is. Perhaps this is just the ramblings of an old bird with too much on their mind, but you, I hope, will be given more weight than your shades and your shadows.
Man. Author, I'm crying.
Aw, bud. You alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. It's just emotions. I think Nebula is too, to be honest, because that hits him hard. It's not like out loud, but there are tears. It's silent crying. He, yeah, I don't think he says anything to that, but he definitely holds them closer
I
and
think
like
that
processing what they said.
they scooch up and like put their little head on his shoulder next to his neck and just like make soothing little cooing noises.
That he is bearing his head into them.
Mm.
Oh man,
There
Author.
they there they there they stay. There they as long as he needs. They will not rouse him before he's ready.
Man, Author. I'm just sitting here. That
Mm.
was so good. Yeah,
Hold up this chicken.
yeah, this chicken's extremely good. Oh man.
Gosh.
Yeah, he is there for quite a while. The crying may or may not get vocal, I'm not sure. But it's, yeah, and he is really tired by the end of it. Even small amounts of crying can take it out of you. He was already exhausted. So his eyes are really dim now. Um maybe cat. Uh maybe like
Did you just
not
say that they
huh?
just fall asleep on the roof?
Man, I'm gonna do a constitution saving throw. Hold on. Maybe where's your okay. Oh, he's got a plus 5 to that.
Hmm.
14. I'll roll with a disadvantage though because like this is a
Fair
lot.
enough.
Nope, that was even okay.
I
Man, I
mean,
don't think.
it's below a 15.
Yeah, it is below a 15. I think he's like his eyelids have gone completely black, but his eyes are not closed. But he's like on the edge of it, basically. I just want to say right now, this is not the first time that he's fallen asleep on a roof. I'm just gonna say that. Uh,
Mm.
Usually, yeah, not usually, but it's happened sometimes. Usually, he's alone for that. He's trying to not this time because there is someone else here, and he does not want to sleep where someone else can get hurt if he gets another nightmare. Um, but so I think he's desperately trying to not. I think is what's going on.
Mm.
But he's on the edge of it for sure.
I think that just sort of at the periphery of his consciousness, he might hear just a gentle sort of lilting clucking. Like it's you would not quite a lullaby, but almost, nearly.
Man, man, these two. My heart.
Mm.
Gosh, Author.
Mm.
I have feelings.
You're right over there.
Yeah, I just have feelings. They're good feelings. They're strong feelings, but they're feelings. I enjoy the feelings. There's a reason why my characters are all angst, but this is good feelings.
Good.
They are angst because that means they can be comforted. Like
Yes,
this.
good.
So this is good. This is extremely good. Oh man, I have now to decide whether he falls asleep or not.
Do we want to say that he does just for the sake of like the sake of plot and story?
Yeah, alright. Alright. He'll fall. This is man. This has happened a couple times to him, and he's gonna yell at himself when he wakes up. But well, if TOC is still there anyway, because he has told them previously, like, hey, you can be with me when I fall asleep, but leave afterwards. Uh, so if they're
Yeah,
if they're there when he wakes up, then he'll yell at himself. If they're not, then he'll be like, okay, so they just left when after I fell asleep, and he'll be okay with that. But yeah, he'll drift off.
I think that they hang on. They pull a blanket out of their hammer space and cover him with it, and they turn to leave, but they don't quite yet. Like I think they know to themselves, surely it can't hurt anything if they stand guard for a while,
Oh.
just to make sure he's okay, just to make sure he's safe. Do you want to roll another magic surge?
I had to roll if he has a nightmare first. He only gets magic surges with nightmares. Gosh. Cause stress related magic surge. Okay. I'm like, I have it typed out, but I'm like hesitant on pressing it because I want him to have good sleep. Gosh. Alright. Nope. That's okay. Okay. Okay.
Shit.
Yeah! I think I mentioned this once before, but for those listening, for when Nebula falls asleep, I roll a d4, and the basically what it is like 1 and 2 are nightmares. 1 is like the worst kind, and 2 is like a slightly better. 3 is either no dreams or like those really weird dreams where you wake up and you're like, what the heck? And then 4 is like good dreams and such. He just rolled a 1. Yeah. I guess I'm rolling magic surge. Okay, no, he doesn't have magic surge. Okay. He is good on that, but yeah, he's not having a great time. He's not having a great time.
I think TUC, like, they are leaving. They're about to head down the ladder when they look back and they hear, you know, a nightmare noise.
Yeah.
And they look back down because they have made a promise. But also, and oh, wait, hang on.
I am eyes at whatever you're rolling. Oh boy.
That's a 1. Okay.
What's going on?
They pull out of their hammer space a pure white feather, and they look at it and they just cradle it for a second. No one's around, it's fine, just for a second. And they put it back in their hammer space and they try again.
I don't know what that's about, but I'm intrigued.
Okay, out of their hammer space, they pull the lollipop that Matt gave them all those months ago, and that they tried to give Juniper during lockdown, but she didn't take it because in a lollipop basically just calms you down. It doesn't do anything like um it doesn't like have a mechanical effect. It just makes you sort of soothed and sleepy.
Mm.
Like it's almost like calming emotions, except it doesn't have a magical effect.
Okay.
And I think they're just gonna like stick it in Nebula's mouth like a pacifier.
While he's still asleep.
Yeah, it's fine. He's a toon. He's not gonna choke.
He's a skeleton too, and he doesn't need to breathe, so he won't choke from that either.
True, no esophagus. This is obviously a wonderful plan that cannot go wrong.
Oh gosh. That's simultaneously adorable and hilarious.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd
And
say
they just
yeah. That probably helps.
go ahead.
Probably after a bit, like seems to calm down. Whether that's from the lollipop or just slipping out of the like REM sleep or whatever. It's probably the lollipop, let's be honest. It's made for that.
Mm. And I think they try something, but they just wind up coughing, so that's still not fucking gonna work. But
Author!
what they do instead is they just sit down and they press their beak their beak together, and they just hum.
Author.
Just that.
Oh man. Man, okay. Gosh. Alright. Man, that's so good. I was not expecting this.
And then they choke and they go very quickly downstairs, and they have a coughing fit in the kitchen because that was pushing it.
Oh man.
That was pushing it.
Oh man. Oh
and
man.
I think they just go and grab another like glass of water.
Man. Author.
You doing okay over there?
I'm fine. It's just emotions. I'm enjoying this immensely. I'm just filled with emotions. It's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry. Man. Gosh, okay. Man.
Do we want to call it there?
Yeah, or maybe either there or like a epilogue scene of in the morning him climbing back down the ladder with a lollipop stick in his mouth. He doesn't know what that's about. He's confused on that. But gosh, would I get no, he probably would question. He'd look at TOC like, what? Why is this in my mouth?
TUC is actually not in the flat.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Mm.
All right. He's left in confusion then, and also for both the Lollipop and also like where are they? Where'd they go?
Well, if he goes down another level, and therefore out of 30 feet of the roof, you will find them nestled in one of the flower displays.
Yeah, he'll probably. I think he'd first like question Hickory, like, do you know where they are? And I assume that they went down there before Hickory woke up, so they just kind of shrug and hit. Yeah, so he'd go down to look for them more, and he'd see that, and he'd kind of just smile, and I think, are they asleep?
I think they browse when he comes down. Like they usually on a normal day they rise with the sun, but they're freaking tired.
Mm-hmm.
And they they're up, but they're not completely up, and they're looking kind of cranky.
Oh. Yeah, I think he won't question the what was in his mouth quite yet, but he'll go over and he'll sit down next to them, and just give a quiet thank you.
They just sign, yeah. And like they bury their head under a wing, just like, ugh. It's too early.
Man. He's still wondering about that stick, but he doesn't want to disturb them. And he'll ask, "Should I leave you be?"
They sigh and they climb out of the flower display because Hickory will eventually need those. And they go, "No, I'm up. Give me a sec." And like they adjust their glasses, and they like ruffle their feathers, sort of shaking like a dog.
Oh.
And like they still look pretty sleepy, but like they're up, they're awake.
I have a very important question. Were they sleeping with the glasses on or off?
On, unless you can think of something cute and funny.
No, I think I like the idea of it being on still. Just yeah. Yeah, after they're done stretching and shaking and such, he'll kind of he'll look at the stick and he'll look back at them and he'll be like, "Do you know what this was about?"
The chicken is staring at you. They are chicken, and they are staring.
He's staring right back. He's looking for an answer.
I mean, they just like fucking walleye. Just actually, do you want to roll contesting cons?
Okay. Saving this saving throw or normal? I assume normal.
This would be normal.
Yeah, because I don't think they're.
Yes. Wait.
Oh, that's not great. Oh, that was a nat 20 from POC.
Yeah, you blink first. They have won the staring contest.
Oh gosh.
And they look extremely smug, like insufferable. And then they go and find breakfast.
Wait, hey, TOC.
They just keep trucking. It's time for bacon.
Oh gosh. I assume that they're like not gonna respond to any more inquiries about the stick.
Not unless they're how many pieces of toast they would like.
Oh gosh, is this a genuine question? Or no, that's not responding. That's just them asking. That's just them signing. Yeah. Which still isn't an answer to the question. Gosh. Yeah, he's. I think he'll give up asking them. He's pretty certain that they had something to do with it. He still doesn't know what it means. Why was this in his mouth? What?
The conspiracy theories that this you could concoct just based off a single lollipop stick found in your mouth.
Gosh. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with that, and he's not getting an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just like... I'm like... no, you go first.
I think that TOC has just quietly decided that it's good for this person to not know things from time to time. Like, it's just, it's a good exercise for him.
Yeah, I think... I like to think of this ending, like, with the Nebula chasing after them, calling their name, and then with them responding with how many pieces of toast do you like, and then it just maybe it zooms in on like Nebula's face, his reaction to that, like what, and then and then it goes black. Oh man, gosh.
This was extremely good.
Author, I just realized
this is extremely good.
It was. It's extremely good. Thank you so much. I also just realized that this is the second FPS where you have left Nebula questioning something that the other person will refuse to tell them. Between this and the Napster Snooze one.
I mean, at least in this one, like, it's just like a lollipop, and it's not like a secret of his existence.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. Oh, man.
Alright, well,
this is extremely good.
Thank you.
Thank you, author.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this on with me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. This was so good. Thank you.
Thank you everyone who's listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Man, I have emotions.
Yeah. Alright, goodbye, folks.
Bye.